Hey guys, and how's it going, and welcome back to another video. So today, if you watched my summon video, you'll know that I pulled the boy Super 17 and I pulled the blue android 13. So if this is basically going to be a double showcase, kind of showing him off as well as Super 17, but this man's abilities are absolutely nuts. You can pause and read those if you like. But basically, his main ability gives him strike, his blast attack. If he defeats an enemy, he gets 20% blast attack, and if there's defeated enemies, he gets even more, 20%. So this man is a nutcase, and he will absolutely decimate blue units. So he's really fun to use. He's also got the cover rescue when he comes against Key Blast. So in this showcase in the first game, we come up against the androids team. What better way to show it than this guy? I think had him at 4-star if I'm not wrong. I might be wrong. So basically, I've got 3 cover change rescue units. I've got Super 17 on the Key Blast. I've got Android 13 on the strike attack, and then I've got Cell just to like save me for the Rising Rush. So this team is insane. As soon as I swiped, I realized what he was going for, so I tried to go for the taps, but it didn't work there, which was unfortunate. But so what the most important thing you have to know about Super 17 is he's not the biggest damage dealer in terms of just against units, and I swiped there, but it didn't let me escape. But anyway, he doesn't do much damage, but he's very, very, very solidly defensive. He's very solid defensively. Sorry guys, I'm just really hyped about this new unit. He's so sick. On that cover, if he gets that cover rescue, he's insane. He gets so many buffs. Like there, he can even do it against that. But I got very, very lucky. So I wasn't planning on rushing the 17. So the fact that he absorbed that green card of cells, but I managed to get my Rising Rush off, very, very clutch. Of course he would guess the green though. And I mean, realistically, this green android, 17, he draws so many green cards. It's actually quite scary. And there's a perfect cover cut. Try get the Key Blast on him. Surprised he didn't use a green. I'm sure he didn't have one at that point. And busy dancing around. I should have used my green there, but didn't want to risk it because, I mean, he doesn't have all that much health left, but he'd managed to survive anyway. At this point, I would have loved to have my green 17 ready to go. But, I mean, such is life that it just wouldn't really work out that way, and he gets his damage cut going. I'm glad I didn't use my green card because I would have he would have been able to get out of it because he would have absorbed the green card and then vanished out of my ultimate ability. So this is just such a sick unit. Now I decide to go for the blue card to see if I can get rid of him, and I do. So his 13 is no longer a problem for me. Catch him in the sidestep nicely. He's not a strike unit, just bear in mind. And unfortunately I have no more key, which is a bit of a problem. But I want to get my main ability off if I can, because now I'm doing extra damage. And unfortunately I should have waited, but I was just so trigger happy. I just really wanted that ability to go off. It just didn't happen. But at this point I'm not too worried, because I didn't want to switch out in case he happened to drop combo, and that's something I'm learning to do, and he delayed that a bit too long, unfortunately for him. So basically this game's done. So we're doing some decent enough damage against Cell, but he decides to cover rescue for his Android 13 to save him. I don't know if he can come back. I don't think he can. I mean, he's wasted his Rising Rush, and look at the damage that 13 is doing to him. Absolutely nothing. So if you're type advantage, even if you're type disadvantage, this guy does tank quite well. So I mean, we've only got 1 blast buff on him, so he's doing fairly alright. And I mean, 1 combo has done some very good damage against Cell. Now, I didn't want to use my Rising Rush, so I decided to bring in 13 while I can, because his 13 is going to be able to switch in and take all this damage. So I'd rather just try and get rid of Cell, but unfortunately we were just shy of being able to do that. And brings him back in. So now at this point, I'm feeling less, what's the word? Merciful. Going for the Rising Rush to end this 13 because this game's dragging on a bit too long, and I think he's pretty much just, he DC'd there, he quit the game, whatever the case may be. And I mean, I don't really blame him, but maybe he couldn't hit the FF button quick enough before the Rising Rush came in. But I decided to keep the game in anyway because, I mean, nothing he did would have really helped him, and the game's ended right there. So this was a very sick game, a very, very good game. The thing is, with this team, the games can be slightly longer, so that's something you do have to take into account if you decide to use this team, or this character in general. He does have very good priority gaining back abilities, so just the team in general is just insane. And I will be using him on a Fusion Warrior team in the near future. That'll probably be my next video on him, because yeah, I think that team is just going to be absolutely insane now that I have Android 13. Blue Android, the red Android 13 and the green Android 17. So we come up against a very mono red team, and I decided to, I was very happy that I managed to pull 13 today, because I was actually able to use him. Like, I didn't have him before, so if I had encountered this team a day before, I would have struggled. Maybe. And here I decided to go for the blue card because he can't get out of it, and I'm very glad I did. Now, 17 is still, well, the purple 17 is still so good, and I actually managed to, I meant to dash backwards, not use my green card, but my finger slipped. So, such is life. At this point, I also kept this game in purely to show what the Goku could do. The Goku is a really sick unit, and I'm kind of bummed I didn't pull him, but maybe I'll get lucky on a daily and be able to do a showcase then. But until then, I'll focus on your boy 17. I had the reactions of a dead cat there. That was absolutely shocking. And it's very unfortunate that here, I thought he was in range, but he managed to dash back far enough, quick enough. So the Goku does some very good strike damage, I will say. And I'm so upset he went for a rush here. I'm so upset. But just know, he does have a damage reduction as he enters the battle. And I noticed he hadn't used the blue, hence why I chose blue. But considering he was smart, I would assume this guy was smart, he would use the blue because he needs all that damage. So this guy had 4-star of each of these units, if I'm not wrong. Goku might have been 3-star. So that was insane. And your boy managed to survive. He managed to tank the Rising Rush. Legendary. So at this point, well, you've just sent your 17 to his death. Now, just the animation for this is just so clean. It's so amazing. And it's just, it's rough. It's so cool. Now, so many green cards in my hand. And we managed to get rid of his 17. Very luckily. I don't know what happened. I don't know why he couldn't vanish, but I don't mind. And I was hoping he wouldn't expect me to have another green card, so I was going to just look at the damage. That damage by 13 is insane. One blast card nearly absolutely just decimated the red Goku. And I don't know why he decided to sacrifice his red rule though, because he must have known I had a rush at this point. But anyway, it is what it is, and we have pretty much convincingly won this game. So I had a plan here, and it literally could not have worked out any more perfectly. Use the AoE attack because you couldn't get out of it, and end the game in style, just to end it with your boy on the win screen. So he's actually just such a sick unit to use in general, and I'm kind of glad I spent, well, I wish I didn't have to, but I'm glad I spent the amount of crystals it needed to get him, because he's just so good. Now, into the third game, we come up against a very odd mesh of characters. Now, I don't quite know what this guy was going for in terms of his selection, but he had a just mix of very good units. He had Buhan in there as well, and I'm very surprised. He had a regen capability. He had a capability of running a regen team with this Piccolo, so I don't know why he didn't decide to. So, whatever. I was hoping he'd actually go for a key card there, but no such luck. And he manages to get out of the... I don't know why he didn't go for an attack. I mean, I had no vanish. But it's very easy to lose track of what happens in these games. As you've noticed many times in one of my videos. You can I lose track of what I'm saying in about in an instant. So I was a split second away from being able to switch into 17 there. But luckily we managed to get the Ki Blast absorbed anyway. So there's that. And I don't know why this guy's not attacking me. It's very interesting. Now just go for a blue card, see if it's enough to kill him, and it is. That blue card is actually so good of his. I actually really enjoy using it. It's so good. And unfortunately, he managed to evade the attack. Very, very unfortunate. But, I mean, you can't win them all. And I just wanted to end his combo because look how many green cards I have in my hand. No matter what he did here, that card would have, my green card would have nullified it. Was it rush, ultimate ability, whatever the case may be, it would have been nullified. So go for it here again, because he's just not expecting it and decide go for the rush, because why the heck not? Now I'm hoping he wouldn't suspect that I had another green card after just using 2. And he didn't. Thankfully for us, he didn't expect it. But that's something you have to think about when you use this team is he actually draws a lot of green cards. He draws a green card which activates 3 times every time your opponent switches out with a character. So if you have 17 in, he'll draw a green card. So you've got to be very careful in terms of how you play with 17 or just in general, because if you have green cards like these androids do that require the combo to end in order to use it properly, so you can't just use 13's ability for green cards because they can be evaded. You can't use Cell's all that willy-nilly because it can be evaded, and you can't use 17's because that leaves him open for an attack. So again, I don't know if he rage quit the DC, whatever the case may be, but we managed to get 17 on the windscreen after evading an attack. Now I just decided to keep that in because, I mean, it just shows his cover cut, shows just how good a unit he is in general. And because it's his showcase, and because I just really love using this unit, I decided, let's throw a 4th game in. And I'm very glad I did, because this game was sick. This was a very, very good game. Now, we come up against the Androids team, again. And unfortunately, we're taking some pretty decent damage from 17, and he managed to get his shield. Now, I'm glad he didn't decide to bring in his Android 13 fused here, because it would have knocked me back. But I don't think he was willing to take the chance in case it happened to be a blast card, because his 13 would have gotten absolutely shredded. So there's that. And gosh, this team, I didn't obviously bring in my 13 now because there was no point. My 17 now because there was absolutely no point. He would get kind of assaulted by a 17. So I wanted to see if I could end it off, or end 17 as quickly as possible so I could freely use Android 17. It's very confusing with the names, but if you get what I mean, thanks guys. Now, I just wanted to get this ability off because it was about time. I missed my last 2, so let's get my 3rd one off. Or rather, 4th one actually. All these games were played in a row, so these were the first games that I played with him, and it's just so good. I don't know what the lag was there. I did stop charging and I did press my green card, so I don't know what that was about. I knew he was going to go for a tap there, and I unfortunately went for a strike card when I shouldn't have, but he couldn't get out of that one, so I decided just go for the AoE attack, show its damage, and I'm very glad I did because I was honestly expecting 17 to come in there, and not Android 13. So I got very lucky in terms of not going for a strike card and deciding to go for the blue instead. And it does really, really good damage. So if you get the chance to use this guy, please do. You're going to have a lot of fun with him. Just be careful. That's all I'll say. A lot of things can go wrong. But if you enjoyed this video, guys, please leave a like, please subscribe, and share with your friends. And I'll see you in the next one. Good luck on all your summons, guys.